Hello, friends. Welcome to Fascinating Words of Global Psychology. I'm Dr. Manjay Kuril, a rehabilitation psychologist, presenting a new video. In this video, we will talk about the remaining perspectives of psychology, its contribution, and its limitations. So, friends, without wasting time, let's start this video. Firstly, we will talk about humanistic perspective. The humanistic perspective emerged in 1950s and 1960s, often called the third force in psychology because it was a reaction to the two big players at that time. First one, behaviorism, and second one is psychodynamic theory. At this time, behaviorism felt too much mechanical and Freud's ideas seemed too dark and deterministic. At this time, humanistic psychology stepped into a focus on human potential and free will, with contribution of its two pioneers. One, Abraham Maslow, who gave us the famous hierarchy of needs model, and Carl Rogers gave us to person-centered therapy, which is very much useful today. No matter how wrong and fizzy the humanistic approach was, but it has some limitations. That one, it was too much optimistic to assume that everyone wants to go and can if given the right support. But what about people with severe mental illness or those who don't want the change? It can feel unrealistic. So, second one, its concept like self-actualization or unconditional positive regards are very much beautiful, but it was hard to test scientifically. It's like trying to quantify a sunset, gorgeous, but how we can put it in a spreadsheet, it has no idea. Third, it focused on so much free will and personal experience that it can downplay biology or external factors. Next, it showed cultural biasness and ignored the ideologies of collectivist cultures like India about individual growth and self actualizations. So, these are limitations of humanistic perspective. Now, we will move towards socio culture perspectives. The socio culture perspective emphasizes how social and cultural factors shape our behavior, thoughts, and emotions. It views individuals as inseparable from their cultural context, societal norms, and interaction, which is not right. Next, it emerged in 20th century and was influenced by anthropological and sociological theories. It gained traction as psychology moved beyond individualistic approach to consider broader social influences. If we talk about its contributors, then first name is Lev Vygotsky, who introduced the concept of zone of proximal development and emphasized the role of social interaction and cultural tools in the cognitive development. Next one is Albert Bandura, who gave social learning theory, which showed how behavior is learned through observation and modeling with social context to not strictly social culture. Next, we can include the name of Yuri Bronfenbrenner, who developed the ecological systems theory, which outlined how different environment systems influence our development, like family, community, or culture. Now, we will move towards its drawbacks. These are it focuses on socio-cultural context and avoids biological or individual factors like genetics, personal agencies, etc. Next, it showed cultural biases in research studies, therefore, the finding cannot be generalized. Now, we will move towards evolutionary perspectives. It explains how human behavior and mental processes as outcomes of natural selection, emphasizing traits that enhanced survival and reproduction in ancestral environment. It's rooted in Charles Darwin theory of evolution that suggests that our behaviors evolved to survive and ensure reproductive success. John Wolfe applied these principles to attachment theory, proposing that infant caregiver bonds involve and evolve to ensure offspring survival. Moreover, David Burrs explored how mate selection, jealousy, and aggression reflect evolved psychological mechanism. Now we will move toward its drawbacks. Firstly, it has a speculative nature through which we cannot test the hypothesis about ancestral environments. Next, it overemphasizes biological factors and neglects sociocultural influences on behaviors. Next, it neglects individual variation or free wills. So, guys, this is all in this video. If you have any queries or doubts, you can comment into the comment section. And if you want separate video on each perspective, please comment in the comment box. After getting 100 comments, I'll make detailed video on that topic. So guys, we will meet in the next video with an interesting topic. Till then, keep watching and keep learning with me. Bye bye. Take care and stay tuned.